Yo, what is up, guys? Season 4 of Fortnite is finally here, and with that obviously comes new POIs, new items in the game, and possibly some new mechanics that you're going to have to learn and adapt to. With that being said, though, this is going to be short, sweet, and to the point. I'm just going to mention the biggest items that have been brought to the game and maybe a POI or two, but I want to kind of keep it brief because I want you guys to just go out there and discover the map, because honestly that's the best way to discover things. I feel like, at least for me personally, I just like going and playing, figuring out how these things work in game. Yes, is it a little frustrating at times? Absolutely. Basically, there's new items in Fortnite. I'm going to give you kind of the lowdown, at least give you a brief description of them and what they do. I'm not going to go too crazy into it because, like I said, I want you guys to just go out there and play the game and figure it out yourself. With that being said, the first POI that I really want to bring your attention to is called Cloudy Condos. I don't honestly remember what the previous name was for this POI because I didn't really land here. I think it was Condo Canyons or something like that, but this is what it is now. It's actually kind of an overpowered drop spot. I feel like there's not really anybody contesting me the last time I landed here a couple of times, so it's been really fun to kind of just look around this POI and figure out where the best chests are that I need to go and loot. There's a new item called Chrome Splash. Basically, this is it. You throw it on an enemy, you throw it on an enemy build, and it gives you the ability to penetrate their walls, and you're going to see kind of a little clip of that here on what's exactly going on there, just kind of give you an idea. You can also chromify yourself. Throwing that Chrome Splash at your feet turns you into kind of a chrome figure, and then you can become a blob, which is basically blobifying yourself, which means you can move faster, you're immune to fall damage, and you gain the ability to air dash into any building, piece of chrome that dash into any kind of chromified building. So if it's been chromified and you're a blob, you can dash through it, or phase through it, I guess is what a better term would be for that. Also, there are things called D-launchers. Basically, it just allows you to gain higher ground, I guess would be a simpler description of it. It's fun. I enjoy it. Although when you do take the D-launcher, you're kind of just suspended in air there. You can't redeploy. You can't maneuver at all in air. It just shoots you up and you're kind of basically dead weight, in my opinion. Also, with the new items, you get two new guns, the Evo Chrome Shotgun and the Evo Chrome Burst Rifle. With these guns, they can only be found in Chrome chests. They look significantly different than normal chests and mythic chests. You'll see that if you play the game. They increase their rarity the more damage you do to opponents. So say you have the Evo Chrome Shotgun, it starts off green. The more damage you do, it could increase it to blue. The more damage you could do, you could take it all the way up to mythic. So that's something that's probably going to be worked in the next couple of days on how to really get into the new meta of this season. I'm sure these guns are going to play a huge part in how people decide to get into fights and encounter each other, I guess, really, when it comes down to it. The sniper got a lot of love. Honestly, it's really nice to see this happen, obviously, because snipers across the board have had their damage and their headshot multiplier increased. So now I believe it's one shot, one kill with some snipers, which is super nice to see now. I know we had the heavy sniper last season and it did not do one shot death damage, I guess is what it would be. One headshot knocked damage. I don't really know exactly. A headshot would knock them, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But last season it was not like that. You had to headshot him and then fill up with an AR or SMG spray. Also, there's things called keys to success. These are basically keys you'll find around the map here that give you access to either two types of vaults. One, with one key you can open up and it gets you low security vaults, and it's basically not low tier loot, but it's still not the highest loot. If you go into a high security vault, which requires two keys, the reward for those and the rarity for the loot in those vaults, obviously it's higher. So when you get those keys, it'll show up on the map, and only people with the keys in their inventory can see these locks, and it will show on your map there. It will show a lock with either one keyhole or two, which gives you the option of going to a 2 keyhole vault or a 1 keyhole vault. Also, a new item called the Porta Bunker, taking place of the Porta Fort from last season. You throw it down, basically a bunker appears. It's a 1x1 structure featuring reinforced metal walls. Yes, the health of those is higher than any of the materials you have, higher than wood, brick, and metal at full health. So that's really nice to see. No building is required, although there are tires in the front there that can bounce opponents who try to grapple over back, so that's a little more defense there on your part if you want to drop that down. You can also drop this on top of your builds if you have been doing kind of like a 90s build fight, and you need a place to kind of hunker down for a little bit so nobody else is third party, you can throw this on top of your builds. So super unique way. I know a lot of people have been talking about something like this, like a porta box, where it just gives you a straight up box. So this is similar, really cool addition to the game, I think. And obviously the battle pass is in. I'm not a huge fan of the battle pass. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it, but we'll see. I might be convinced later down the road. There are a couple skins I'm really keeping my eye on. And also slide kick. Now I know in one of the trailers previous seasons we've seen sliding come into play and everybody's super excited, but now you can now knock back opposing players when you slide into them. So that's unique. I'm sure we're going to see some clips of people sliding into the opponents, maybe knock them off of high ground and knocking them or killing them instantly. I think that's going to be super cool. Obviously, there's still some items that are still in the game that didn't get vaulted. The lever action rifle is in the game now as well. That's super cool. The boombow's still here. That's also cool. There's a lot of POIs obviously that you can go look up and explore it at your will and leisure. Now I will say, obviously with competitive, firefly jars and stockbreak grenades are not included in competitive playlists. Kind of an OP thing anyways. In pubs you can get absolutely dropped on. Now that kind of concludes the really big updates for Fortnite Season 4, guys. I know there's a lot to kind of delve into with the new meta and the new way people are going to be using the chrome splashes, and even probably the new way people are going to be using the mobility. As I mentioned, there's a POI called Cloudy Condos. It's actually a really interesting place because if you see these yellow balloons there are zip lines you can take up to those, and then the next zip line you take up will shoot you into the balloon and shoot you out, giving you the mobility factor. Also, there are other platforms around the map that do that as well. So with launch pads being taken out, I know, sad times, we have a new way to move around the map. Obviously vehicles and animals are still in, and if I'm being completely honest, the Cloudy Condos POI is really overpowered. There's a splash truck there that you can break, get you a full shield. There's tons of different hails you can get. I mean, this place is OP. I land here already and I am enjoying the season thus far. So if you are enjoying it, please let me know down in the comments.